Training in chaplaincy begins with asking questions to plunge us into the depths of our soul's values. A question such as this: if you met the wounded school shooter as he was brought into the hospital, how would you treat him? There's a level of being in this world that transcends knee jerk reactions. It transcends unintentional cultural training. It goes deeper than an Instagram post, a casual comment over coffee. And it causes us to live at a level of compassion that others simply may not understand. It asks us to rise above. During the AIDS crisis in our previous century, there were medical professionals whose judgment of the gay community prevented them from doing their jobs properly. But so many healthcare humans lived at the level I just described that AIDS patients were cared for. There were unnoticed heroes in the secular world that lived at that level. An acquaintance of mine was a foster mom, and when she learned of babies being born already infected with the AIDS virus, she chose to foster only AIDS babies, knowing that suffering that they would experience and the extra love they would need could only come from special people. They lived at the level of rising above. During the day when people in the Twin Towers were murdered and filled with panic, first responders and untrained citizens rallied to save lives and to look for the survivors. They lived at the level of rising above. What does it take to live at that level? Well, honestly, I think we are all capable of it. Some of us allow ourselves to get blanketed with bigotry, with judgment, with poor theological teachings, and with peer pressure from politicians and their noise. See, there's a road in Brockport that made me think about this years ago. Brockport, New York. The road travels along the Erie Canal for a bit. And I mean, it's right there beside the canal. You swerve to miss a squirrel and you're in the water. Now, somewhere along the history of that canal, guardrails were put between the asphalt and the water's edge. But this isn't the point. The point is that you can easily see everything about that water while you're on this road. And I can think of not one person I know who wouldn't stop to help if they saw someone flailing and in trouble in that water. Before throwing a rope from the trunk, we don't ask who the person voted for. We don't check if they have a visa, if they have a passport, or a green card. We don't ask if they receive food stamps or if they're a millionaire. We help. That's the level of rising above. So, why can't we maintain that level? What's unsustainable about it? What about daily life drags us back to the binary thinking that keeps us divided? Why does anger or bigotry or judgment keep us from being okay with one another every day? And the answer to that is fear. Fear of being left out, fear that someone else will get the bigger slice of the pizza, fear that I'll be left alone while everyone else succeeds, fear of bodily harm, from fear from anything that would cause emotional harm or mental anguish. Fear keeps us from rising above. And so I offer a new plan. I ask that we each consider being as fearless as possible today. Not reckless, just fearless. We're not going to jump from a plane without checking the ripcord. We're not reckless. We are going to evaluate how much fear controls our lives. We're going to watch for signs that our decisions are made from a place of fear, and we're going to know that that's what's keeping us from rising above. I'm going to leave you with a reading that has been attributed to St. Francis, when he was hospitalized in 2025, but also has been attributed to Reverend Dr. Patrick Ferry, lovingly known as Patty Ferry. Whichever faith guide wrote it matters not to me. The divine message is powerful. The walls of hospitals have heard more honest prayers than churches. They have witnessed far more sincere kisses than those in airports. It is in hospitals that you see a homophobe being saved by a gay doctor, a privileged doctor saving the life of a beggar. In intensive care, you see a Jew taking care of a racist, a police officer and a prisoner in the same room receiving the same care, a wealthy patient waiting for a liver transplant, ready to receive the organ from a poor donor. It is in these moments when the hospital touches the wounds of people that different worlds intersect according to a divine design. And in this communion of destinies, we realize that alone we are nothing. The absolute truth of people, most of the time, only reveals itself in moments of pain or in the real threat of an irreversible loss. A hospital is a place where human beings remove their masks and show themselves as they truly are in their purest essence. This life will pass quickly, so do not waste it fighting with people. Do not criticize your body too much. Do not complain excessively. Do not lose sleep over bills. Make sure to hug your loved ones. Do not worry too much about keeping the house spotless. Material goods must be earned by each person. Do not dedicate yourself to accumulating them as an inheritance. You are waiting for far too much. Christmas, Friday, next year, when you have money, when love arrives, when everything is perfect. Listen, perfection does not exist. A human being cannot attain it because we are simply not made to be fulfilled here. Here we are given an opportunity to learn. So make the most of this trial of life and do it now. Respect yourself, respect others, walk your own path, and let go of the path others have chosen for you. Respect. Do not comment, do not judge, do not interfere. Love more, forgive more, embrace more, live more intensely, and leave the rest in the hands of the Creator. Blessings on all.